People ask me how I travel so much. They're like, you must be rich. And I'm like, no, but I have been investing since I was 10 years old. Seriously, I opened my first brokerage account when I was 10. That's why I get really annoyed when I see that women aren't investing, because they say they don't understand how. This stuff is so easy, a 10-year-old can do it. I did. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the most basic of basics on how to get started in investing so you can stop brushing it off as something that just rich people do. This is how to invest so you have more money and you can travel more. And it really is easy, and dare I say, fun? Yeah, I get really nerdy and excited about this stuff, so I want you to get really nerdy and excited with me. So let's do this. Okay, first things first, what do we mean by investing? Investing is putting your money into assets where the value will change and grow, hopefully. For the purposes of this video, we're gonna talk about stocks and stock market investing, which leads me to our next question, which is, what is the stock market? And this one's a little bit nebulous because actually the stock market is kind of a broad term. It's not like one thing. There are many components to the stock market. It's like a nebulous market of all traded stocks and commodities and bonds and things. Stay with me. I see your eyes glazing over. Just stay with me. Now, stocks and other things are traded on stock exchanges. Stock exchanges are a physical place. You may have heard of the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. Those are like actual places that you can go to and buy and sell stocks. Although most of it's done like online now, but those are the actual like trading places. There are other ones that are international markets like London or Tokyo or the Bolsa, which is Mexico. But mostly we're thinking about like New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. Those are the big ones in the US. Think of them as like farmers markets, open every day except for the weekends and major US holidays. Now, when you watch the news, you may hear them talk about things like the Dow or the S&P 500. Those are market indexes, and market indexes are just lists. They're lists of stocks. And lists of stocks are how the politicians and the corporations and the financial analysts and the people who track the stock market, these are an easy way for them to track how the market's doing. Now, the New York Stock Exchange has over 2,200 stocks that are available for purchase. The NASDAQ has like 3,000 or more. So these market indexes just provide like an easy snapshot. The Dow, for example, has only 30 stocks on its list. That's it. So when you hear them say like, oh, the Dow rose 200 points, it's literally just like the average of those 33 stocks. That's all that means. Okay. Now at this point, most finance videos that tell you how to invest are going to launch into an explanation of tax advantaged versus non-tax advantaged accounts. And I'm not going to do that because I can already see your eyes glazing over. You're not ready. We're not going to go there yet. Let's go even more basic. Investing is a 4-step process. And if there's anything you take from this video, this is all I want you to remember. 4 steps to start investing. Number 1, you pick a financial firm. Okay. Just you pick one. There's a bunch of them out there. We'll go through that. But number 1, you pick one. Number 2, you open what is called a brokerage account at this financial firm. Okay, this is like the account you get to go shopping with. Number 3, you put money in it because you can't buy things without money. And number 4, you then buy something on the stock market from a stock exchange. That is investing. So let's go back to step 1, pick a financial firm. There are a lot of financial firms. You've probably heard of a lot of them, like Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price. SoFi is one. Robinhood was in the news a whole lot because they kind of gamify investing. So when you pick a financial firm, you're looking for one that has a platform that's easy to use and that has low fees. Okay, that's your 2 big things. I'm not gonna recommend a particular financial firm, but I will say do your own research. I love sites like bankrate.com or NerdWallet. Like they have good lists of sort of the best financial firms and they'll rank out why. So just like maybe start there and get good information and then, pick one. Doesn't matter a whole lot which one you pick. Once you've picked your financial firm, you are going to open a brokerage account. The brokerage account is like a checking account or a savings account. It is like a financial account. And when you open it, they're going to give you what's called a money market account inside your brokerage account. And that is where the cash sits. For all intents and purposes, you have your money market account, you put cash into the money market account, and you think of it as like a Simon Malls gift card. Okay, you load up that money market account, and then that allows you to go buy things at the stock market mall. So to put money in the money market account, you're going to link your checking account to it. You can also go to the place and put cash in or write a check. But the easiest way is just link your checking account from whatever your bank is. You put money in the money market account, you load up that gift card, and then you're ready to go. You are now Julia Roberts on Rodeo Drive, only these people want to take your money. Now, what can you buy? I'll be honest with you, there's a lot. There are a lot of things that you can buy on the stock market. It's like too many things that you can buy. So if you're new to investing, I want you to focus on two things: stocks and ETFs. Stocks and ETFs, which ETFs stands for electronically traded funds. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's start with stocks. A stock is a company, okay? People will say like, oh, you buy stocks. You buy shares in a stock. A share is a piece of stock, okay? Stock is the company, a share is a piece of the stock. So you can buy shares in a company. All right, so stocks are a company that has gone public, shares are pieces of that company. How does this like work? How do you make money off of this? Basically, you buy a little piece of a company, a share, at a certain price. And when you do that, you are hoping, betting that the stock price is going to rise. There's a lot of factors that go into that on the market, but basically if the company's doing well, their stock should rise. And so once it rises, you can then sell that stock at a higher price, and then you bank the difference. So that's good. But if the company does badly and the price goes down, you don't lose anything until you actually sell that piece of stock, or the company goes out of business, in which case all your money goes poof. So a case study, for example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a publicly traded company. They are split into roughly 4.3 billion shares. Now, not all of these shares are like out available for sale. A lot of times like management owns a bunch and like other investors own a bunch, but generally Coca-Cola, the company, is split up into 4.3 billion shares. Now, Coca-Cola recently has been trading around $78 to $79 a share, which means if you multiply these, you're like around $338.45 billion, which is insane. That's how much Coca-Cola is worth as a company. And so you can own one tiny share for like $78, $79. Okay, so now we understand. If you're buying a stock, you're actually buying a share of stock or multiple shares of the stock. Now your other option that I want you to focus on is an ETF, an electronically traded fund. People also call these index funds. Okay, index funds basically are a basket of stocks is what they'll say. So it's like VOO is a famous index fund. They buy a whole bunch of stocks and you can own one share of that ETF or that index fund. Just like we were talking about those like market indexes at the top, same thing with an index fund, right? You own a chunk of this index fund that tracks an overall portfolio of stocks. It just helps to diversify your portfolio and dilute your risk a bit. It's a much simpler way to invest, so you don't have to worry about like the performance of one particular company. So which one should you pick? Well, personally, for long-term investing, like index funds, ETFs, are the way to go. They are generally low fee, they are much lower risk, and you can kind of put your money in there and forget about it. Just let it grow over time. Now, I do own some individual stocks, and I purchase stocks really as a way to show that I support a company, but I very much treat it like gambling money because it doesn't always work out. I'm looking at you, Bumble. It didn't work for me in investments and it hasn't worked for me in love. So stocks I consider to be gambling money, and just like if you're going to a casino, you need to set yourself a budget and you need to know when to walk away. Now, I haven't talked about retirement accounts, and I could, but this video is already getting kind of long. So if you are interested in learning about what the difference is between investing like this in a brokerage account versus investing in your retirement account, leave a comment below. I can always do a follow-up video and talk about that for hours. I love this stuff. There's like 401ks and IRAs and 403bs and Roths, and like again, your guys are glazing over. So remember, at the end of the day, all I want you to remember is investing is a 4-step process. Pick a financial firm, open a brokerage account, put money in it, buy something on the stock market from a stock exchange. Congratulations, you're an investor. That's all there is to it. Once you've done these 4 steps, leave a comment below. I want to congratulate you and celebrate you for now being part of the stock market game. And again, if you find this helpful, let me know and we can do a follow-up. Okay, until next time, go create a life you love.